Hello and welcome to another video of Coffee and Stocks. In today's video, let's talk about 3 of the cheap stocks to buy right now that are surprisingly good for what they are. These aren't penny stocks, so don't be thinking that they're going to be worth about $2 each. But before we get started, let's get some coffee. Alright, so let's get one thing straight, and that is I am not a financial advisor, so don't take my words as advice. I'm just doing this video for those who just want more information of some of these stocks, so go consult your financial person to actually make some plays. Also, please don't forget to drop a like on this video as well as a subscribe, obviously for the YouTube algorithm. First one on the list is DONNA restaurants, and we all know the restaurants themselves have been taking an absolute devastating hit, making some of the restaurants like completely closed down, shut down, and some having to go bankrupt. But others have done amazingly. But DONNA restaurants has been recuperating very good lately, and if we look at the 1-year graph, we can see that this stock is actually running right about under 30% of the pre-pandemic numbers. And obviously, being under pre-pandemic numbers isn't really anything out of the ordinary. But from the bottom, which is where the pandemic hit and the restaurants had to shut down, DONNA restaurants have been up over 110%, which is incredible. Going from March, around that March time where a lot of the stocks fell, they have had an amazing recovery. You can also see that they have kind of traded sideways for a little bit, staying around the $80 mark. And if we go to the 5-year graph, we see that obviously before the pandemic, they were having amazing growth overall, which, they also had a dividend over 4%. We can obviously be certain that since the pandemic hit, they had to cut down their dividends a little bit to around 3%. But I mean, 3% dividend is freaking great. And even at the max years graph, we can see that they were once trading for around $5 a share in 1995, and in only 10 years, they were up to $27 a share. And right before the pandemic hit, they were actually going for around $122 a share. I mean, if that doesn't show you growth in stock and in the company, I don't know what does. From going to $6 to $122, that's more than 2,000% increase in 25 years. And if you believe in growth stocks, and I mean, you should believe in growth stocks, 2,000% in 25 years is freaking great. And I know 25 years is, it's a long time, and I don't want to wait that long, but don't forget, we're in this for the long run. Also, us as investors, we look at some of the stocks that have been beaten down, so we can take advantage of that, since we are thinking that they will get back up to the regular pre-pandemic numbers. And even coming from Motley Fool, they say that some investors are too pessimistic, obviously, though DONNA shares trade at 26% times estimated earnings for fiscal 2021, which just began in June. Even though Wall Street expects the restaurant operator, which is DONNA, to grow earnings over 26% annually for the next 5 years. Holy crap. This is some wild 26% over the next 5 years is so freaking juicy. Like, that is a lot of growth over the next 5 years. I know you don't want to wait 25 years, but in the next 5 years, if you could only wait 5 years, 26%, ooh, that's great. And I mean, it's obviously it's incredible growth. So based on week ending June 21st, the company is generating positive operating cash flow with over $750 million of cash on hand, obviously as of June 21st, and access to $750 million in credit facility, which means they also have an additional $1.5 million in liquidity. I mean, geez, they're going to be fine for a very, very, very long time. Even if we are in these tough times, which we are, they have a lot of liquidity and cash flow available, as well as such expectations, as you can see, that I am all in with this company. They have, obviously they got hit with the pandemic. They had to close some stuff down, but since then they have increased so well lately, and it's soon they are going to reach the pre-pandemic levels. So this is definitely a stock to keep in mind. Next on the list, we have DONNA Inc., which engages in the manufacture, distribution, and sales of technology, drive, and motion products. But DONNA is currently running for about $13.83. Since the pandemic hit, they were trading for $4, which is ridiculous that I didn't get into it before. And since then, they have been up for more than 600%. Now, DONNA might seem, a little familiar. It's like, I've heard that company's name in a while. And yes, it's because of another company called Hyliion. Yes, Hyliion. It's a huge company right now. Everyone's hyped about it. And yes, since, in the investor presentation that Hyliion did in the past, DONNA comes up as one of the strategic partners and financial investors. More specific, as an industry-leading supplier of drivetrain, axle, and electrified propulsion components. So what Hyliion and DONNA are doing side to side is co-development of strategic components, supply chain, full system assembly, sales and marketing, and OEM partnership. I mean, DONNA has been around for more than 115 years, which is freaking ridiculous, right? But we can see, if you want to get into more specifics, we can see in their balance sheet that they have a little over $3 billion in total assets. And if we just go a little bit lower, we could also see that their current liabilities are around 1.37 billion. Obviously, you could do 1.3 billion minus 1.37 billion. They have, they are in a good position to not going to bankrupt anytime soon, especially in the current times that we are in. And going through the second quarter earnings, we can see that there are some key highlights that DONNA have, including reopening of their facilities, which they have done, new electric truck program, which we'll see in a little bit, and they have acquired EV software capabilities. Their partnership with Hyliion, which is huge, and last but not least, their Ford Bronco reveal, which just came out, obviously. I mean, DONNA is all over the place, technically, being in motion with every company making big moves in the near future. For example, here is DONNA's third significant European electric truck program, which is complete DONNA e-powertrain that includes electrodynamic components, complete vehicle integration, and embedded software and controls. I mean, it's huge. This is a major European manufacturer, and it's set to launch in 2021, and that's only a year away. So I just got super excited thinking about this. I mean, it's good to see a company like this, which has gone through so much through these times, obviously, like every other company. But they're not only working super hard right now for current reveals, working with Hyliion, working with the Ford Bronco, and stuff like that. But they also have current projects that are coming up in the future, which as an investor, you get excited about that and you want to put more money into this company and have more of their shares. And just like that, we see that they still have the partnership with Hyliion, which will be super positive for them and their recovery. But they also have affiliation with the new Ford Bronco that has launch capabilities in 2020, which just happened, and also future plans with Ford in the future as well, as you can see, 2021. And before we finish off with DONNA, I just want to say that yes, they suspended their dividends, but I mean, given the situation that we are currently in, that is understandable. A lot of the companies are suspending their dividends, but if you do start your position in this company, know that this is not just a good stock that would give you a lot of growth, but it would easily give you dividends in the future as well. So I mean, I'm all down for dividends as well, but if you could give me growth and dividends, I'm all in. All right, so last but not least, this stock might be something to watch for rather than to start your position in right now. But in case we want to start position, here we have Wells Fargo. And yes, this stock is still down. But let's be honest, being down 50% of what it was pre-pandemic, I mean, it looks bad if you already had a position in it. But if you don't and you want to start a position, I mean, it's not bad. Like, doesn't that 50% off this stock just make it super juicy? It's like going to the store and going directly to the clearance area, seeing what's on there, and you just find loads and loads and loads of Wells Fargo stocks at shares at 50% discount, with the possibility of these stocks or these shares to go up to $50 each. I mean, that's just insane. $24 worth right now. Capability of increasing so much, $24 to $50. Growth room is crazy. But you do have to be careful. You have to be careful since they haven't been increasing much lately. They still have dividends, but they did cut it from 8% dividend yield. They cut it 80%, which is, if you're into dividends, this could be something that you might not want to get into right now. But they did cut it, which is understandable, since we know most of the companies want to stay afloat and they can't pay these huge percent dividends. So cutting the dividends was a little extra flotation device, hoping for things to get better. And then you have a couple of Robinhood analysts that do have this stock at a 21% buy, but mostly it's at a 61% hold. So if you already have a position in this company, just hold it, just for the long run. If you haven't had a position yet, think about it before you buy, but there is a 21% buy by these analysts. So you also see that some of the institutions who have Wells Fargo in their portfolio have these shares at a 77% held rate. And if you don't have a position yet, just keep it in mind. Just keep it on your watch list for the future. Just in case they have a huge explosion or they're gonna slowly start rising. Just build your position, and then trust me, it is gonna grow. Anyways, that was today's video. Hopefully you guys liked it. Keep a lookout for all these 3 stocks that could give you potential huge growth for your portfolio. Don't forget to drop a like on this video as well as a share, and I will talk to you soon in the next Coffee and Stocks.